Hi everyone, it's Mitch from SportsChatPlace.com, and it is Wednesday, January 9th, 2019, here with your free live show. Of course, we're here live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Our best bets, of course, always over at SportsChatExperts.com, where it's best bets from myself and some of the other top handicappers in the world today. The reason the show is late today is... The reason the show is late, I'm talking to advertising people that want to advertise on the site. I know that a lot of the ads sometimes, well, not a lot of the ads, but some of the ads sometimes become obtrusive. You guys don't like it where they're moving around the site and dropping in the way where you can't even navigate where you're going, especially on the mobile phone. So we're just talking to different people about advertising and getting the type of ads where we get people to pay for these expenses that we have. And at the same time, you guys can do what you want to do while you're at the site, which is read the articles and get your free picks. But anyways... we do at least 3 free picks on this show every single day. Our best bets always over at SportsChatExperts.com, where it's best bets for myself and some of the other top handicappers in the world today. Got a lot of spammers in our group these days, so if you see those spammers, you can report the post. So just report them. Just going through some of the people that are trying to join the group right now. But anyways, we do at least 3 free picks every single day. I'll tell you, the more you move into conference play in college basketball, the later you get into the NBA season, the tighter these lines are. I had Kentucky yesterday. Man, how brutal. All we can do is laugh, right? It was brutal. That is the most brutal loss where they dribble out. They put 0.8 seconds left on the clock. Why would the guy even shoot it? They pass it in. The guy shoots it from beyond half court. Bang. 3-pointer goes from 14 to 11, and we lose. I mean, that was as bad as it gets. And, but that is sports betting. If we were on the other side of it, I certainly wouldn't be complaining. So, like I said, on those, man, all I can do is laugh. Of course, I would rather win and not have to laugh about it. But, man, that just goes to show you. People say, oh, man, we talk about bad beats and everything like that. And, what's the worst beat you ever took? Yeah, it was up there. It was up there. So, it was up there, not as far as the amount of money that I lost, but it was definitely up there by the, it was up there by the, just how ridiculous it was, which I think is what we go by a lot of the times. So I'm waiting for people to arrive, I'm going through the people that want to be in our Facebook group. If you are trying to be in our Facebook group, and for some reason you're being rejected, usually it means you have no profile picture or you have no friends where it looks like, just a fake account that you've set up. What we're not going to do is let you in our Facebook group with some ridiculous account so you can just come in with your Plan B account and spam us and, do those sort of things. We don't want that, Save that for somebody else's, go to one of my competitors' groups and do it there. But we're all about, just getting on winners and sharing the love every day. Certainly not about spamming people. But anyways, on this show, we do at least 3 free picks. Our best bet's always over at SportsChatExperts.com. Was contacted by one person yesterday about T-shirts, and I'm going to speak to him today. And, yesterday I said if anybody knows anyone that does screen printing of T-shirts or embroidery and things of that nature, to let me know. I was contacted by one person. Another person left a comment on YouTube, but I have not heard from them. You guys know I'm generally a very quick decision maker. So, so by all means, if you know someone that does t-shirts or whatever, let me know, because you guys always support the site. If it's your business, even better. You guys always have, support the site and everything that we do. I'll do the same. I mean, I'm buying t-shirts anyway. So I'd rather do it through one of you guys who support me than just do it through anybody. But those of you just joining us, do at least 3 free picks every single day. Kind of just stalling for time here while I'm trying to let people in the group and things of that nature. But we're ready to go now. We're ready with the first free pick for today's show. So we got the NBA going on. Nice 10-game card. These Wednesday cards are great, and then Thursday they have the TNT schedule or whatever. So generally not as good. But so we got the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Generally, we've seen the Nets as, has been our underdog, right, that we really have loved. And meanwhile, the Hawks are the ones these days that are kind of like a little better underdog. They're just 5-18 on the road, which is right in our wheelhouse. When you look at their straight-up record, 5-18, and they're 12-11 against the number. So, if you can, if you can do some quick math there. Basically, this is a team that generally gets a lot of points. So generally gets too many points. So we're going to take the Atlanta Hawks here and 9 points. I love the Nets. I think they win this game. I just like my 9 points here. And that'll be our first pick for today's show. I got to write these down because at the end of the show we recap all the picks. So we took the Hawks plus 9. But anyways, we do at least 3 free picks. Our best bets always over at sportschatexperts.com and sportschatplace.com Premium Plus. But yeah, that Kentucky game, it's one of those games, like I said, didn't lose a lot of money on it. I lost some on it, but man, it's going to leave a mark. It's like I'm in Vegas, having a good time. I'm watching the game with Craig Trapp, and he's just like, they're not even going to shoot it. It's like they did, and it was nothing but net. Of course, I try and explain to people, they're like, you have the best job. I'm like, at the end of the game when they just throw the ball up, and across the court, the guy's like, at his own foul line, at his end of the court, he just throws the ball across the entire court, and it goes in, and it doesn't affect the game at all. Well, it affects me sometimes, and last night was one of those times. That was crazy. Like I said, I can laugh about it, but it doesn't mean I'm happy about it. Let's get to another pick here in the NBA. Yesterday I gave out the Phoenix Suns, and man, was that not a popular pick. Normally, after the show, I usually will get a few comments of people that are like watching the live video and they think I'm still live, so they'll like ask questions as they're, as they're watching it, which is fine. A lot of times I go back and do it, but sometimes when there's an injury or a guy's not playing, like Booker wasn't playing for the Suns yesterday, and they went back and, everyone's like, Booker's not playing, you can't possibly be taking the Suns or whatever, but, we did take the Suns and they won outright, so, it's the NBA. There's only a certain amount of guys on an NBA team, and if you ever look at NBA contracts, they're pretty big. So, everyone basically can play. I had, Brandon saying Iowa State, but if he was a premium member, then he had Baylor like the rest of us. We were all on Baylor. So I thought that one was pretty easy. Iowa State coming off of the big win against Kansas, and Baylor just coming up short, rallying from 17 down at TCU and coming up short, and now getting back home. It just seemed like one of those spots that was an absolute trap for Iowa State. Of course, it wasn't like an easy win for Baylor or anything. They were a dog. They were getting points, so any kind of win is a win. And they were leading most of the way, and they were never really outside of the number, even though it was only 3.5. But I thought that was a really good spot for Baylor last night, and that's why I gave it out as a premium pick. But anyways, let's get to another game here. I get sidetracked all the time, right? It's just, it is just what happens. But let's see, that premium. So, man, we got a lot of chicken on the bone here, right? So, got the Washington Wizards up against the Philadelphia 76ers. This one looks like a real trap line, right? With Washington opening as a 2-point dog and the line moving to 3.5. This is a team that's 16-25 straight up this season, up against a team that's 27-14. Of course, the Sixers 7-3 straight up in their last 10, while the Wizards just 4-6. Just 4-6 against the number. We know with the Sixers that the issue is generally that they have players that don't play a lot, and it just seems to be this way for years for the 76ers. Of course, they're a lot better team than they were, so we don't have to worry about it as much. And it's J.J. Redick tonight who missed last night. It's undetermined if he's going to play tonight. Of course, the other guys on the Sixers that are out have been out for a while, but Embiid and Butler, it's like with these guys, we're not sure if they're playing or not. Otto Porter is questionable here for the Wiz, and Morris is of course, out till mid-February. John Wall out for the season, and Dwight Howard, he could be the curse of this team, right? It just seems that whatever team Dwight Howard goes to isn't very good. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 76ers. It's a rare day that I take the 76ers. I think that they're way public. I think that this one looks like a total trap at just 3.5 points. But you know what? I'm going to fall for it. I'm going to take the 76ers, and I'm going to lay the 3.5 points. That'll be my second pick for today's show. Of course, we do at least 3 free picks every single day on this show. Our best bets always over at SportsChatExperts.com, as well as SportsChatPlace.com, Premium and Premium Plus. And we have a lot of fun on this show. We talk about stuff. Should we hammer Nick Saban a couple minutes for a couple seconds while I'm switching sites over? I mean, I read some funny posts by Alabama fans thinking that, right, the final score of the game was 44-16, and they're trying to say that if this play or this play went the other way, that the game would have had a different outcome. It was 44-16. They never stopped them. The defense was gouged, and if they would have left the starters in at the end of the game, it would have been 51-16 or 58-16. But Clemson, they called the dogs off, and they were knocking on the door at the end of the game. Alabama couldn't even get into the end zone. They got into the red zone, how many times? Couldn't do it. We're going to talk about Alabama's loss, I think, every single day for the next year because we loved it so much. And I'll tell you what, if I was me and I was Dabo Swinney, he's probably a classier act than I am. If it was Nick Saban, I would have punched it in on his ass at the end of the game to run up the score. Because I would have said, if the fans aren't allowed to leave the stadium, like you say, when they need to leave, we might as well score a couple more times on your shitty ass and, put some points up. And that's exactly what they did. I'm going to take the Houston Cougars here against the Temple Owls, though. They're laying a point. Houston's been awesome. 2-0 against the number on the road. 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games. Temple's been pretty good this season, too. Nice rebound season for the Owls. We have inverse line movement on this game, which is always scary, but it's not always 100%. Someone asked me a question yesterday, what do I mean by inverse line movement? Inverse line movement happens when we see a large percent of the public bets being placed on one side of the game, yet the line moves in the other direction. So right here, we see 69% of the public is on Houston in this game, but the line has dropped from Houston being a 1.5 point favorite to 1. So logic, you would say that the more bets on one side, the line will move away from that team. So if Houston was a 1.5 point favorite and 70% of the bets are on Houston, that the line would move to 2 or 2.5. But that's not the case. It's moved to 1. It's inverse line movement. And that means that while the number of bets on Houston is higher, the bigger money is on Temple here. So I'm going to go against the big money. The sharps aren't always right. That's for sure. We saw that with the Cleveland Browns, not this past season, but the season before, where they got whooped on a regular basis. And, that's just one example of where it happens. The Sharps certainly don't win all the time. I think they're wrong in this one. I like Houston. They're 15-0 going into this one with a chip on their shoulder. 2-0 against the number on the road. 8-2 against the spread in their last 10. Temple's 11-3. But I think Houston's too much here. I think when we look at the numbers and break this down a little bit further for you as to where I'm coming from, Houston's about a point better offensively and 10 points better defensively. So this one shapes up, even though it's a home road thing going on here. I mean, when you go home road, Houston's even better on the road defensively, not as good offensively, but still a 2, 3, 4 point winner. I think Houston wins by 5 or more in this game. So I like Houston. I'm going to continue to ride them. Why not? They've been paying for a couple nice dinners out here in Vegas. But of course, if you're watching us on YouTube Live, if you could hit that thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything, and it certainly helps us a bunch if you hit that thumbs up on YouTube Live. But there's other guys that do live shows. Of course, copying. We've done for a long time. It's going to happen, right? If you do something, people show up, they try and copy what you do, and they're like, if I don't see at least 50 or 100 thumbs up, then I'm not giving a pick. And they give one pick the whole show, and it's like, you act like, like you owe them this big favor or something. But you guys don't owe me anything. I don't care. We've done pretty well with you guys. And like I said, I want to do a free t-shirt giveaway. They're going to be 100% free. But what I need is a t-shirt person that makes t-shirts. So I'm going to be talking to someone today that somebody through the videos referred me to. And if anybody knows anybody else that has a t-shirt company, my email is mitch@sportschatplace.com if they do t-shirt printing. Tell them to contact me because I'm going to make a decision quick because shipping to Hawaii is normally painful, so I have to figure out other kinds of logistics to get the t-shirts to me so then I can get the t-shirts to you guys. Hats, t-shirts, whatever. We'll figure it all out. We'll get like these things like Craig sends for picks and parlays. They stick to the back of your phone, and then you can kind of put your cards and stuff in there. You see that? It's nice, right? Anyways, let's get to another free pick here. I like Miami plus the 10 points against Florida State. I know the Canes have been pretty terrible this season. They're missing their best player. Once again, 2 years in a row missing their best player. I just think that the numbers don't suggest that Florida State's going to blow them out by a lot. I know that these are two teams that generally don't like each other a lot, so if it does get out of hand, I expect Florida State to continue to let it get out of hand. But I don't see that happening in this one. I think the Canes man up in this one. They're just 8-6 straight up, 0-2 on the road, 0-2 against the number. They're 1-9 against the spread in their last 10 games. Something's got to give, but Florida State, they opened as a 10.5 point favorite. The line down to 10. We have inverse line movement in this game with 63% of the public on Florida State. Yet the line dropping from 10.5 to 10. And then we have, they're 2-7 against the number in the last 10 games. So hardly world beaters and hardly guys that we can rely on for covering the spread. So we'll take the dog here, just like we love to do. Miami plus 10 will be our fourth pick for today's show. Of course, we do at least 3 free picks every single day. Ghost Picks is blasting YouTube recently all over the place. I don't even know what that means. What is blasting YouTube? You can send me an email and explain to me what that means. I'm going to delete the comment, but of course not hide you. I'm just going to delete it because I don't want to support those guys. But blasting YouTube, I have no idea what that even means. I just know that those guys don't state their record. They don't show their picks. So if you're not transparent, showing every pick that you've ever made, in a computer-generated fashion, then you're not real, and anyone could say, yeah, I had Clemson money line, but you could go to Sports Chat Experts, click on Mitch Wilson, and you could see my pick for that game, Clemson money line plus 185, right? You could see it. We just try and run things legitimately and above the line. So, at Sports Chat Experts, I never tell you guys, you need this, and I never, sit here and drag out, when I sit here and talk about things on the show, I never sit here and talk about how great we are, or how, we're new and we're changing the world and we're just different than everybody else and we're better. No. We're better because we don't have to talk about that stuff, because I don't need to sit here and try and sell you something, because we have 4 million people a month that come to our website, and I'm super proud of that, whether they ever buy something or don't buy something. We don't need them to buy anything. If you want to buy, we have plenty available for you. We think it's the best out there, and it's documented and all that stuff. And we feel we give you, discounts, whatever. We give away free stuff, all of that kind of good stuff. But I don't know. It's we could talk about the other guys all day long, but those guys they just showed up one day, right? It's like Ghost Picks, they just showed up. It's like these guys, they were sitting around and whatever they do, they do their videos from a truck, so obviously they have a job or something that they go to every day because their handicapping doesn't support them, so they do it from their car, on their lunch break or something, right? It's like how this is what I do for a living. You guys know that. That's how I can come on live at halftime, and that's how I can do all these other things, because this is what I do 100% of the time. And most of the handicappers on our site, 100% full-time handicappers. That's why we're not afraid to show what our record is and document all of our picks. We have winning runs, we have losing runs. We don't just sit there and say, my 10,000 unit pick. I mean, I could go on all day about it. Anyways. Do at least 3 free picks every single day on the show. We've done 4 so far. Someone touched a nerve, so we're gonna. I don't know if they're a fraud or if they're not a fraud. I'm just saying that if you don't document every pick that you've ever made, and it's done in a fashion where you can't personally go in and alter it, then you can't state your record. I mean, you've lost that privilege. And I will tell you the true story. Jimmy from Ghost Picks was on Picks and Parlays. I saw his videos. I invited him to be on Picks and Parlays. He came on. He sent us an email. He said, I want to be on Picks and Parlays. He sent us an email. We put him on Picks and Parlays. When he saw that all of the picks were documented, that he would have to show every pick that he ever made, and that was how his record would be calculated. Not 100 units for this pick and 5 units for this one. It would be the same amount of units for every single pick, exactly how we do it at Sports Chat Experts and Picks and Parlays. He no longer wanted to be on the site. He came up with an excuse and isn't there anymore. I could show you where he was on the site and how he left. Yeah, there's zillions of people on Instagram, zillions of people on Twitter. But if you guys, if you guys are willing to just send an email, I mean, to me, the Instagram ones are the weirdest ones, right? Because they're all fake followers. Why would someone follow someone on Instagram that's not giving you anything? It doesn't even make any sense. So you're following this person on Instagram so you can see what they say their record was yesterday? I don't even understand that. I don't even let people post tickets, old tickets where they have the actual betting ticket. We don't even let them post it in our Facebook group, a betting ticket of games that were yesterday. We don't even allow that. It's like, tell me about today, man. You don't need to totally support me, whatever. You guys, I know you guys watch all kinds of shows. It's fine. It's like, that's what it's all about. But it's like, if you can send your money on the internet to just some PayPal address because some guy said he's good at picking sports picks, and I get emails from people all the time saying, I lost money with this guy, can you help me? I lost money with this guy, can you help me? So it's like, you can send your money PayPal to this guy, but you can't pay $3 a day for my premium picks? You gotta be kidding me. It's like, because I run a legitimate operation, I'm supposed to bail you out. While this guy, you can just send him PayPal. You don't even know what he looks like, right? I mean, these aren't even those real guys. I'll tell you one thing. The guys at Ghost Pick, it's not even their real name. But anyways, let's get to another pick. Not sure why Iowa's a dog here at Northwestern. I like Iowa plus the 3. I like the way this team is shooting. Northwestern is pretty good, but it just seems that they're not good enough. 10-5 on the season, 8-2 straight up at home, 5-4 against the number. Iowa's 7-3 in their last 10 games, but just 4-6, 0-2 against the number at home. We're getting 3 points. I could see this one coming right down to the bitter end, where it's like, even if Iowa doesn't get the outright win, I could see the 3 points factoring this thing. So I'm going to take Iowa plus the 3 points. I kind of went on a rant today, so I kind of got sidetracked. So what I'll do is, since I give, I'll do an extra pick or two, because I don't know, it's really not what our show is about. Our show is about giving people free picks, not talking about other people, how they don't state the record or the real names or anything like that. But anyways, Yeah, the tennis picks on Sports Chat Place. I'll let Randy and Avajoy know that. I like that we're covering tennis because it's an international sport, and the thing also is that tennis gets played during the day. Joe Finney says, I deserve a rant every once in a while. Yeah, but I do them every 5 minutes. That's the difference. So everyone gets a rant once in a while, but Mitch doesn't. Mitch has his every 5 minutes. I like Utah State against Fresno State. We saw Fresno have the big win against Nevada, meaning that they're likely overvalued in this spot. They're a good team, but Utah State is a good team in their own right. 11-4 straight up on the season, 7-0 at home, 5-1 against the number, just 3-6 against the spread in their last 10 games. So a lot of people have caught on to Utah State is basically what that means. Fresno State 2-0 against the number on the road, but just 1-1 straight up. It's weird that Fresno State, coming off of that giant win over Nevada, is +6 at Utah State. Somebody knows something. Let's go with somebody. We'll lay the 6 points. If you're watching us on YouTube Live, if you could hit the thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. Now what happens is like the Ghost Pick guys. There's like a couple of them that are super creepy. They email me like gay porno pictures. It's like this is how they handle things. They'll email them to me. So if that's what you're if those are the people you want to give your money to, then you're free to do it. But it's like none of the people that I work with will even work with those guys. Anyway, so Hart is watching us live on YouTube Live. I sent him the link, and he's a guy who is going to clean up our advertising on Sports Chat. I know a lot of you guys hate the pop-ups. You hate the thing where it's like the ads floating around. And I get the email, Mitch, I love your site, but I can't even read it anymore because of all the ads. What Hart is going to do is he's going to straighten out all the ads for us. He's going to get us in with the advertisers, the same big names that none of the other sites can get in with in our industry, and still have the Ford and the big car companies and the whoever, right, alcohol companies if we can get them or whatever, and get them to advertise on our site without making it these giant things that cover the menu and you can't even scroll the pages or read the articles, and it's like a mess. So we're glad that he's watching us live. I think it's the first time that he's done that. But anyways, we've done 6 free picks already. I'm going to do one more. We do at least 3 on every single show, but I went on that rant about Ghost Picks. So, and it's not really just about Ghost Picks. It's about everybody. The Instagram guys, the Twitter guys. I mean, if you want to take your money, send it in PayPal to somebody that won't even show their face or tell you their real name, you're on your own. You can't send me the email later on saying, Mitch, I lost so much money with so-and-so guy that I never heard of, right? I PayPal'd him all this money and he gave me nothing but losers, and then you want my premium picks for free. I think my premium picks are the cheapest out there. You don't have to buy them. We do free picks. We have free picks on every game, whatever. But some people, they want the premium picks, so I have it. The premium picks were a byproduct of emails that I got from you guys saying, hey, can you make a section where you put your best bets? We'll pay you for it. Really, that is exactly how it started. It's not something that I ever came up with. And you guys know the premium area started at least 3 to 4 years after Sports Chat Place. Most of these other guys, they start off with premium area. Or, the guys on Twitter, send me money, right? DM me and send me money. Anyways, I like VCU against LaSalle. I couldn't put this in as a premium pick because the line is really big. The beauty of VCU is they play that great defense, but they also play this ridiculously light schedule in spots. So because they play these bad teams like LaSalle, sometimes we see these big numbers like this. And VCU is not known for their offense, at least the past few years because of the way that Shaka Smart coached the team. But VCU is out of the Shaka Smart era at this point. I'd say he's long gone at this point, so none of his players are left. A lot of his system is gone as well. They still play the defense, but I think their offense is a lot better than it used to be. They're just 3-4 against the number at home, but they're catching the LaSalle team that's 3-10 straight up, 2-0 against the number on the road, meaning they generally get a lot more points. But this line dropped from 14.5 down to 13 on inverse line movement with 66% of the public on VCU. It still dropped 1.5 points, so that's some big, big money on LaSalle. But you know what? we're all about taking that big money. I'm going to take VCU minus 13, and that will be my last pick for today's show. So it was a long show today. We got a little sidetracked. I know the guys from Ghost Picks are probably going to send me some nasty emails, and I don't give a shit. How about that? Bring it on, baby. But the Hawks plus 9. We took the 76ers minus 3.5. University of Houston minus 1. The Cougs. Miami plus 10 against Florida State. Iowa plus 3 at Northwestern. Utah State minus 6 against Fresno State. VCU minus 13. I know you guys have a lot of choices when it comes to live video and recorded video, podcasts, and free pick articles. I'm just glad, I know we were the first ones to do it, but we're certainly not the last, as we have many, many people out there doing the same thing. Some guys doing a pretty good job of it. Some guys, I don't know what the hell they're doing. But anyways, glad you guys just keep us as part of the rotation. I certainly appreciate it. And, of course, if you're watching us on YouTube Live, hit the thumbs up. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, about 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day, everyone.